Cool. I believe we are live. Thank you for coming by whenever you end up watching this. If you end up watching this later, I will put timestamps in the comment and in the description that just tell you where I actually start playing the game. If you want to vibe and hang out at first, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I'm just getting set up. I'll be trying to talk to anyone that wants to come by and join and kind of just get started. I hope the audio levels are good. Okay. I always have chat pulled up in like 3 different places because it's I don't know. I just never have found a good chat before location that will keep me updated, so I just make sure I'm ready. I'm logged. Oh, gosh dang. Okay. My wife was playing Lego The Hobbit on the Steam Deck, so let me turn that off. Okay, there we go. Oh, chill, dude. She's gonna bark again. I know it. Oh, she hates whenever I adjust my chair, and I don't know why, but it makes me want to just sort of die a little inside. Okay, we definitely should have subtitles on. No, I have not. I have no idea what I'm about to get into. I wonder what this looks like. See, barely visible to me, like in my brain, means like probably here. But games are always just way too dark. I'm just going to leave it neutral. Like, I don't know why things are built like this. What in the world is that? Are you kidding me? I want to get you as accurate time as possible. We're going to wait for this to hit 5. We got about 20 seconds, and then we will be on the money. So, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. 4, 3, 2, 1, enter. Weird. I've never had a game ask for the time before. What am I about to get into, man? That's fun. It's in the monitor. Okay. Okay, so the only thing that I know about this game is that it like was made by Doug's brother or something, I think. But that's about it. I guess I know it's somewhere around 2 hours long, but beyond that, I really don't know. Game came out in the 2010s. That's it. That's all I got. The end is never the end. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Wow.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Okay.
And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
How rude.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, okay. That is, very high. That's fun. Okay. I like the sound effects a lot. It's pretty cool. We just run it. I'm good with however it is, assuming I can. It's still pretty sensitive. Maybe I can mess with my mouse settings. Whatever. Not whatever. It's hard. Let's do this. Okay, I'm a little faster than I thought. 429, 428. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? It's pretty good. Classic. God, I wish I could read these. It's alright, I guess. Oh, wait. This is on. Something's transferring. Oh, okay. Well, I'm saving power because it would be rude. I think you're supposed to lock your computer whenever you leave it, your desk, to make sure no one can access your information. I like work. I just hate my boss. Okay. That's a funny mug
Stanley
to bring.
went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, I see what kind of narrator this is already. That is nothing out there. Interesting. Did I die? Did everyone else die? Is this like the apocalypse? Or rather... maybe not the apocalypse. I guess I'm asking, Rapture? Okay. Oh, I thought it worked for a second. Okay. So the time isn't what time it is here, which surprised me. Because it had me put in the time, so like, why put in the time? A lot of these I hate Monday likes, huh? $4B3, that's a little bit different. Of course. No. Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This is a very interesting dilemma. Yo, what up, Nistalar? The game just started. The narrator is very interesting so far. Let's see. The narrator wants me to enter the door on the left. I think I'm gonna go with it, right? Because in character, you know, Stanley, he loves following orders, being told what to do. So I'm gonna roll with it until I have a reason to not trust the narrator. Right? Because if he's looking out for me, I don't want to betray that. I don't want to just assume he's the bad guy. Okay. Okay. Just make sure none of the door opens. Okay, this is the meeting room?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
I have to read that in a second.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Rip Franz, dude. R.I.P. Big Dog. What is this? I'm sure there's like some interesting stuff here. But I just don't want to read all of it. Employee. We're employee 427. I like how there's these different like numbers and then Jim. Reflect. Target. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper guy. Please keep the targets on the topic of blank. Oh, it changes. Hell yeah. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined towards conflict, unless you're the kind of person who... it's too fast. What are your dreams for the future? Spring break, clear skin, metamorphosis, comatose. Oh, comatose is an interesting one. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let it ball you up inside. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Yeah, that's a pretty good solution. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Okay, fun, but I'm going to keep going. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Synergize. Core value. Expenditures. Monetize free to play. That's a good one. Help. I'm a post-it. Can I help you? No? Okay. Broom closet. Oh ho ho ho.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Whenever I click, it makes that keyboard sound, which is really fun.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What is FA?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I know he says something else.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I want the broom. I guess I should just leave, but...
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path.
Yeah.
Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, Did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite. I hope your friends find this concerning.
I'm gonna use that for the thumbnail probably.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Whoa, Stanley just became way cooler.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay, so it's funny, right? But it also... Is the narrator not a human? That's what it sounds like to me. Or is it just like a video game concept where he's saying that he is the game? Because, you know, it was a pretty fourth wall breaking experience. So is he aware that he is the game? I mean, surely. But does that matter to the plot? Is it a throwaway joke? I guess we'll find out.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you too.
I had to do
I'm
it.
at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay, I think that's all we're getting out of him. I do have to keep it open, though, for my sanity.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, I've given you enough shit. This is the office? Holy crap, dude. To be rich, is it a crime? To commit crimes, isn't it rich? What a life it would be to have to pick just one. Extreme bathrooms. Time. Okay, time is definitely a very large factor in this game, so I gotta keep an eye on that. Whenever I first opened the game, it asked if I've played this game before, and it also asked if, or what time it was. Like, it had me actively put that in rather than like reading my computer or something. So that's interesting. And then there's a whole bunch of clocks around, and now we have a time magazine, so definitely expecting time to be an important factor. Mirror doesn't work. Very cool. The beige pages. Not what? Oh, yellow pages. I see. It's office. It's awesome.
Stepping
Dude.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Oh,
and
God.
so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay. What? Put a piano there and don't let me play it? What is that about?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
How interesting.
Two, 8, 4, 5.
Nothing? Okay, I was hoping for something.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Oh. Okay. So is this like, gosh dang it, what's that movie called? Jim Carrey. Truman Show.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. Well.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
Oh.
door that read Mind Control Facility.
God, no, what? You have to
Although
escape
this
that.
passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh, we gotta find out then. Mind control facility? Come on,
The
dude.
door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
It's kind of scary. I gotta do it, right? Oh my god.
As the machine whirled
Oh.
into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Well then.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated
What?
as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What? What? I'm sorry, what?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game,
Oh.
back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Hey, I did think that. Kind of. Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Office layout. Oh, this is... The set of 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. An exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Oops, didn't read that far. How interesting is that? The office. Button sounds. Okay, well, I'll never find that out, I guess. Credits. Okay. I guess I goofed. I guess that was it. Alright. Freedom ending? I mean, I almost don't want to look around here too much, but it's very hard not to. 427, huh? Narrator emails. How do you make a JRPG? How do you make the worst game ever? Ah. Warzone? What is this? Okay. I guess we go into the white light. Transverse the white light. Okay, I can't help but be curious what this is. Zending? Zending model? Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Okay.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Not at all, dude.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Is that it? Like, it just... Okay. I thought that I was going to have to close out right there. Okay, so this is how the game started. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna do this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Okay, I do have to make sure to turn all of these off because, you know, it's wasting company time. Awaiting input. That's interesting. Okay. Let me check what time. What is this? Like 11:21? Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know, the narrator, the female narrator makes me want to like not do that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Coffee nut. Why are there so many mugs
really,
around?
really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers are but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I can't help but wonder what's in here, man. Do not lie. If you're lying, right now, stop.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Dang it. Okay. Do I die again? How many times are we gonna die in this game? More than I thought, huh? Penalty for jumping off cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What in the world, dude? Oh, the forklift, yes. I've been waiting to get her back in my life. Certified forklift driver. Okay. That scared me, dude.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't want to, but it's also so unhinged that I have to keep going.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Piss off.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
What the heck? Okay, I guess.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
I don't think I have much of a choice in this anymore.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
To spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
It's like sad.
But there is
Beyond.
no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
The game won't progress if I don't. Guaranteed. The problem is, how long do I want to wait here on stream? Because, like, I could just get up and leave, you know, just leave the game on for a minute. But that's kind of boring. So we're committing, I guess, huh?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. Well then. Same old stuff, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh, no input this time, huh? Why?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Sorry, dog. You can't stop me.
Oh, no. Oh, no, no,
You
no, no,
cannot
no, no, no,
stop
not
me.
again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
You can't stop me. Okay. I kind of believe him when he said he's not going to say anything. But boy, this is a good meme. Broom Closet is like a good... Yeah, they did good.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm just defiant, dude. What do you want from me?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever
I did wonder
he
that
went?
already.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
This is not...
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
Oh, this is like one of my
It was
biggest
comforting
fears
to think this,
ever.
And in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, man. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. You think I'm not turning those off? You're wrong.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I haven't done this one yet.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And I do.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
There are too many options, man. I can't not do it.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Just out of curiosity. Okay. Okay.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
All right.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Oh, that's where I'm going anyways. Dog, what is this? Fired. Something. Where am I? 427. Let's go.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This game's crazy, man. Okay. I just have to turn those off. Which I think is really interesting.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find
I wanted
the story.
this one. That's so unfortunate, but it's okay. Are they different? Yeah, they're all different, huh? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, well, in this case...
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Inner guilt.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever
Damn.
progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay. From the top.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That feels different. I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for things.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Yeah.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Whatever, man. Call me weatherman. I'm wherever, man. I click on doors.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something.
Sorry, what?
The story. Here it comes.
It's a very ominous way to put that. Oh. Okay. No time.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This isn't right.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Ooh.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations!
Hey!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
It's pretty funny,
All right,
man.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple
The
is
line
that?
TM. That's already not right. Okay. What if I just kept going normally though? The options are so trippy. We'll follow the line. We got solitaire. Nope, can't do anything with it though. Fine. So around the boxes.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Whoa.
Hang on.
Yeah,
That got
hang
a bit
on.
weird back there? Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Let's go. Ah, snap. Ah, god dang, dude. Time move forward. Whoa, dude.
Wait, cut the music.
Aw.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
I don't believe it.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Back here, huh?
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Okay, well, at least I have the line. TN, you know, trademarked. I don't want to get in trouble for saying that.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Or did a different door open? Yeah, okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting.
nothing at all.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Hell yeah.
What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I'm just walking. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, not you again.
Whoa, it breaks
Stanley,
in.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It trademarked. That's funny, man. Well. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
Let's
From
do
here,
it,
the
dude.
story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
That's
starting
some
from the
logic.
right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Okay. This is interesting.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Okay. Is that a phone ringing? Oh lord. This one? This. Oh god, this one again. Fine. No? Okay. It's for the best. I don't like that phone, man. Oops.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
This is the first time he said anything, so it might be a different one. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm walking.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That's funny.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'll go for it, I guess. Come. Yo, you gaming? Yeah, this is calling it a trip, I feel like, is a bit of an understatement. This game is bonkers. Okay. What? What is this business strategy? Oh, man. I am the most expensive boss. Okay. People. Let's go up, man. Can you take me higher? Ooh. Ooh. Stanley. Okay. Oh, back here. So does down do anything? We're just doing this again. Okay. All right. Interesting. Just interesting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
All
read
right,
Mind
I'll go
Control
through this time.
Facility.
All right, fine. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Fire.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
All right, let's see. What does 427 turn into? Nothing. Okay. Oh, I didn't see this opened.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
it?
And you
Was it
only
even
get here
possible?
by listening
Had
to the
he truly
narrator.
spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. Oh, okay. C buttons. No. Okay. Successfully pushed 1 and 2. Five. Okay, wait. So I need 3 and 4. But where is 4? Oh man, I can't see. See? It's always too dark. Oh well. I'm just going to assume I can't get up there, because this looks like a gate very vaguely to me. I wish I could at least read it.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Oh no. I really want to turn it on. Am I too contrarian? Probably. Oh man. All right.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
It's really
Freedom
funny.
was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content. That's awesome.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Damn phone, man.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
It's funny. Just throw it in there like that.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Lord, is this it?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh,
Okay.
there we go. All right, finally.
I'm actually
at long
surprised.
last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley.
Ooh, the jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
This is what I call content. Oh, okay. But then what? You just can't jump anymore. So that's all you get. It's not do that many, it's you only get this many.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for playing the new content. Yeah, boy.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Not much I can really do. Let's roll. This is immediately different. That's pretty fun. It's just a picture. That's funny. This game's wild. It's just wild.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
Don't gotta tell me once.
I want to show you something. Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Indoors monthly is pretty good. The original remake. Be my Valentine. Okay. Dang, that's really good, actually. I'd put that up in my house. Don't play for 5 years. That's one of your greatest memories? Aw.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay. Why Minecraft? Person of the Year. What? What? People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Wait. The serious room. Big dog, I can't get back there.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Dude, I hope that's a
suppose
real
I could write
review.
up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people.
I get it.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, there's only one light on.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
A week?
It's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year.
A
Have
year?
you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To
You
begin
really don't have to. Uh-oh. It's just quiet. That's bad. Yeah, I would like that to stop.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was
Now
meant
he's
to
just
speak
back.
to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review
Jeez.
and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the...
I like how it just cuts him off.
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
Okay. Maybe I'll be able to get out of here one day. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Oh. Oh. Whoa, okay. I don't think that's coming back on. What? I'm just heading towards what could be smoke. What a game. Okay. Now, did we actually start over, or is this... I guess that's something that kind of trips me out, is I never know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. I kind of want to ignore it. Fine, we'll do it.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright, pal. What you got? Okay.
You You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Numa, yeah. Water cooler. Beg for mercy.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Just the two of us. Okay. Just the lyrics. It's pretty good. Two doors. The color red, yeah.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hear your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name
That's
Jim.
pretty
But
close.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name,
To
whatever name that
Jim's.
is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
How rude.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out
No
later.
screenshots. Okay. Jump circuit. Infinite hole. Great. Collectibles. Reassurance bucket.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy
That's
12th
pretty
birthday,
funny.
step-niece, it is.
It's just
Or actually,
silly.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
It just keeps going.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Is there a way out of it? I don't want to go in there. I'm not gonna lie. I believe him whenever he says that.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It just works.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Merch. Settings World Champion. I like how they say exit or jump circle. Like, it's the
goodness.
tempting one.
Stanley,
Oh.
This is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the bucket and the collectibles. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves both of them. And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket, okay? All right, I'll get out of your hair now. Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay. Collect them all.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. I got a bucket. I got a collectible.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Okay. How about now?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. It's funny that a title screen could be part of, honestly, gameplay.
This is the story of a
Oh,
man
okay,
named
so
Stanley.
it literally just starts over. Okay. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I was wrong.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ooh, new feature, can't walk that way.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it
Bucket.
up. Why was he not doing it?
The bucket.
Stanley picked up the
Alright,
bucket.
dog.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good thing, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I would give him the bucket if I could.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go.
Whoa.
There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Okay.
All right, I've got a second sticker
Let's
back
go.
here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Yeah.
That way, if you're
course.
ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yeah, I'm sure there are.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay. All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs
And
to
the
the
bucket.
boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. There's two things that I want to do,
Downward,
and I don't know
plummeting towards an unknown fate.
if it's over.
It would be all Stanley
I
could
kind
do
of
to keep
assume it is,
himself
but
together,
I have
if
no
not
clue.
for the bucket, soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
This damn bucket,
Everything
man.
will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oh, no bucket. Oh, okay, never mind. It just was dark again.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept
Screamed into the
his own
bucket.
life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
The bucket did it.
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What? Hawk or sparrow? Oh, parrot.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place,
Jesus.
living through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's only one thing I can think of that I haven't done yet. This already feels different. I don't know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room but eager to get back to detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track?
Okay. So that is literally what you do. Alright. I mean, that's kind of us then, I guess.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay, well, now we're talking.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
This game is wacky. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just a wacky little game.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Mwah.
Mind Control Facility.
Did not do that, sorry.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Right.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I am curious
Farewell,
how this
Stanley,
would have gone if I
cried the
brought the
narrator,
bucket
as Stanley
instead.
was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay. Well. I guess that's us. I'm not sure what else to do. Okay. I have done this part already, so I really don't think it's gonna change from when I first did it. Office clock.
Upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice. Stanley pushed the number 6. Stanley jumped in the river.
Kevin
Now
Brighting,
look closely,
the
Stanley.
voice of the
See
narrator,
how it's
recorded
impossible for the player
dialogue
to
for
do
the
anything
entire
this was
game
Stanley
roughly
stood
3
perfect
separate
example
times
of low-level
over the 2
design,
years of
textbook
development.
mistake.
Jeez.
It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here.
Okay.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time...
It's very interesting. It's gonna take me a while to kind of think about this. Huh. I don't know what else to say. Just at this point, it's just, huh. Okay. I guess that's us. Huh. Anyways, thanks for coming by, everyone who's still here. The next game I'm gonna play next week is Say No More. I think that'll be a fun little thing. It's Labor Day, it's a holiday. I know people are off, but I also kind of want to go do stuff, so be a little busy. And then yeah. Put out a video this Friday going over whatever I'm experiencing right now after playing the game. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you guys